If you're just about ready to hit 20, or you're already in your 20s, or maybe you've long passed that decade but you're still trying to figure out this universal age versus success phenomenon, this video is especially for you. Wagwan Faith family, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Tatiana and this is where I create faith-based content. You are most welcome. So in a couple of months, I'll be celebrating my 26th birthday, and there has been a lot on my mind about where I'd hope to be, what I should be doing. And to be honest with you guys, these aren't entirely positive thoughts. But being the type of person that I am, just always reflecting and trying to see God's hands in every area of my life, I decided to share with you guys 4 of the biggest takeaways from my 20s thus far. And this is particularly focused on success and what that should look like for each age. This is what I like to refer to as the age versus success phenomenon, because why is that even a thing, right? So number 1, the problem is not with your goal, it's just not the right time. We all have dreams and aspirations, and that's great. They aren't the problem. As a matter of fact, a lot of those same goals were placed inside of you by God. Those dreams, those same aspirations were given to you by your Heavenly Father. Of course, there are some unrealistic goals that we set sometime, like, I don't know, wanting to be the Prime Minister of your country by age 22. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But the problem is not leaving enough space to know that even with the right attitude, the right goals, the right aspirations, everything happens for everyone at a different time, and things will not always go the way you expect. If you had a vision of what you wanted your life to be like, and you're not seeing that come to fruition any at all, please don't use that as a reason to get rid of your goal altogether. God is the designer and sustainer of our lives, and I 100% believe that He is more concerned about making sure that we're prepared for the things that we've been praying for, rather than just giving us what we want just to make it seem as if we've met the successful 20s standard. Number 2, take your life 1 year at a time. Honestly, guys, this is a huge lesson for all of us to learn. The Lord has been highlighting very often in my life just how much I've been rushing my age over the years. So I have this thing that I do with birthdays, and you probably do this too, where the moment the year begins, or the moment you have your birthday and say like a few months pass, you already start to declare yourself the age that's coming up next. And the Lord has really been convicting me of this. And even though it's not a grave issue, it's still not a good practice, because you are literally rushing your life. Like, you're literally saying to God, all right, come on, let's just speed this up. Like, and it starts from as young as 12. Okay, so I'm 12, I can't wait to be 13, and when you get to 13, oh my gosh, I can't wait to be 18. Like, when I get to 18. And as I said before, it's not a grave issue, but it's really not a good practice. And what we have to realize is this is something that we do unconsciously. This is oftentimes not something that we're aware of, because that's what we've been influenced to do based on, again, this universal age versus success phenomenon. It tells you what you should achieve, where you should go, and all that you should be doing, and by what age. This is something that really holds back a lot of people without them even realizing it. And I need to stop doing that. And I really want to encourage you to just take things 1 year at a time, literally. You can't go any faster than you are going right now. Number 3, let God establish you. For a long time, I've been very satisfied with the idea that, yeah, I can trust God, but also be self sufficient somehow. And that as long as I'm placing my goals before Him, as long as I'm bringing my ideas to Him, He's definitely going to give them the stamp of approval because I mean well and my heart is in the right place and all of that. But it doesn't always work that way. Yes, it's a great principle to constantly bring your plans before the Lord because He loves to hear from us. He loves when we're excited about a new goal or a new dream. And, it reflects His heart because He has a lot in store for us. But an even more powerful posture to take that I believe works 100% of the time is to seek God about what He wants you to be doing in whatever season of your life, especially in this very confusing decade. When you allow God to be the one that's guiding you, you are guaranteed, let me say that again, you are guaranteed to get exactly where you need to be and at the right time with fewer regrets and more of your brain cells in place. Okay, so seeking God about His plans for your life will always be the better option because He wants to establish you. And in order for Him to establish you, the plans that are brought to fruition in your life must be in line with His will. And what better way to find out God's will for your life than to seek Him about it, ask Him about it. He's your Heavenly Father and He wants to keep you in the loop. So just trust Him. Honestly, it is the best way to go. So in my last video, I shared a very short but powerful verse that has really been speaking to me, and it's here again. And that is from Isaiah 60 verse 22 that says, "At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen." This is the voice of your Father saying, at the right time, when the time is right, you don't have to worry because that thing that you've been waiting for, that thing that you've been praying about, that opportunity that you have been seeking Him about, it will happen at the right time. You are not behind. You are not missing out. Keep putting your faith and trust in God and let Him establish you at His pace. The final takeaway that I want to share with you guys today is sort of the icing on the cake for me, because this is something that really it really took a lot for me to just wrap my head around it, because sometimes we think we know everything, and that's the truth. We think we are aware of everything that's happening and we know all of God's reasons why disappointments come, or the reasons behind our disappointments, and we know exactly why this didn't work out. And it creates a space for so many negative thoughts to come in, like, oh, God doesn't love me, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not enough, and so many lies seep into our minds. But this final point really drives it home for me, and it's that you will be happy that some things didn't work out. You'll be happy that some things didn't work out. This one is more like what I would tell my younger self sort of thing, that whether it's having a relationship that didn't work out, or missing out, or feeling like that life-changing opportunity that you're like, come on, God, like this would have been perfect, whatever it is, you'll accept and be happy at the end of the day when you realize that there is a potential danger that you escaped, or how a thing would have changed or damaged your life. Honestly, you can be happy, or you will be happy that some things didn't work out. Some of your deepest desires, you'll find that looking back, I'm actually happy I dodged that bullet. Yeah. Of course, we're not going to always be privy to what's happening in the spiritual realm, or the plan that God had, or why things didn't work out. But in a couple of years or months or even days, you'll realize that some of those things that you really had your heart set on, you're not gonna have your heart set on them anymore. And that's why it's so important to trust God and seek Him for His will and seek His timing. Because one of the craziest things is really wanting something and just like not wanting to listen to God's voice to say, hey, like, this is not for you. And then end up regretting that you didn't listen. End up regretting that I didn't wait and I didn't trust God, because now this thing that was fluttering in my heart is a pain somewhere else. When you place your obedience in God over something that your heart desires, you will be so much more grateful for what God eventually provides for you, and for the lessons that He teaches you at the end of those disappointments. We live to have testimonies. We live as God's children to proclaim the good things that He has done for us, to proclaim His goodness, His love. And our testimonies, we have to have testimonies, because our testimonies encourage unbelievers and other believers to say, hey, I know that what you're going through is hard, and I know that you've been met with a lot of disappointments where success is concerned, or your idea of success. But God did this for me, and He can do it for you too. So, how will I be going about the rest of my 20s? Making sure that these lessons stay in my heart, and just doing everything in this video that I'm encouraging you guys to do. I have made a genuine promise to myself that I will not try to push or shove my life, number one, in a direction that is not supposed to go, even if that's the direction I want it to go, but also at a pace that's faster than what God has, than the pace that God has my life to be going in. Yeah. And that's gonna be so much more easier on my mind, on how I go about doing things. It's just going to be so much more different, and I'm just excited about just where God is going to be taking me, and yeah, other lessons that I'll be learning on the rest of this 20s journey. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be working hard, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be going after my dreams and improving on what I have going on right now. But it just means that at the end of the day, my trust is in God, and I'm gonna allow Him to establish me to do what He wishes, because this is hard and I don't want to make it any harder. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you were blessed, and if you were, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, share it with someone that you know that's really going through trying to understand this whole age versus success thing. This is something that was created by us, and so can be alleviated by us, the stress, the pressure. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.